Hi everyone, welcome to the July edition of Wavelength. Once it was king cotton, then crude oil, but today and into the next century, the most valuable commodity in Texas is water.
There is probably no single factor more instrumental to the long-term well-being of a city or a region, including quality of life, the health of its people, the economy, or public safety, than the supply of water.
Austin Mayor Kirk Watson joined LCRA General Manager Mark Rose on the banks of Lake Austin to announce a $100 million agreement that will provide Austin a drought-proof supply of water for the next 50 years. The population of the city of Austin is projected to double by the year 2050 to an estimated 1.6 million people. Under the old water agreement with LCRA, Austin could run out of water by the mid-2030s.
It's very possible that Austin would have wound up with only run-of-the-river water available to it. What that means is when you have a significant drought or even a hard dry spell like we had in '96, there's an extended period of time where Austin just would not have water. So this was a tremendously historic thing for Austin. It allows LCRA to be paid for the water that it is holding for our customers. It allows us to maintain rates. It's a great thing for LCRA. It's a great thing for Austin. It's a great thing for the region.
The new agreement, with its extension option, could ensure Austin's access to Highland Lake's water to the year 2100.
Here at the LCRA, we don't plan for 3 years. We plan for 3 generations, and this agreement represents that. $100 million is a lot of money, but this is a lot of water, guaranteed to be there year in, year out, come drought or not. And that is vital to this city, vital to the success of this city. And as all of us in Central Texas has learned, what happens to the LCRA, what happens to all the communities in Central Texas is largely dependent upon the success of the city of Austin. That's just reality.
Staff from the LCRA and the City of Austin worked behind the scenes for 10 months putting this agreement together.
I'd like to, as well as Mark and the Mayor, congratulate our staffs on quietly working together and formulating an agreement on this water that's so important to the region. As the Mayor said a minute ago, there are very few guarantees in the future, but if we can provide a water supply to the City of Austin, firm water supply for the next 50 years, then that's an incredibly important accomplishment for all of us.
Austin will pay $25 million up front to reserve this water and $6 to $7 million a year over the next 20 to 30 years.
This will mean for the average residential water user a $28 per year increase on his or her bill at the end of 7 years. That's approximately $2.33 a month. And that's really not a lot when you consider that we'll be ensuring the availability of water for decades to come.
Final details of the water agreement will be ironed out over the summer, and approval by the Austin City Council and the LCRA Board of Directors is expected in August.
Texas Governor George W. Bush has appointed 5 new members to the LCRA Board of Directors. The appointees were confirmed by the Texas Senate in May and took their seats at the June board meeting. Louis Romero, Jr. of Kerr County joined the board back in January and was also confirmed by the Senate in May. The new board members are Ann E. Jones of Brownwood. She is co-owner of Jones Enterprises Personal Investments. David L. Kidhill of Marble Falls is a retired official of the Eastman Kodak Company, where he worked for 28 years. Scott LaGrone of Georgetown is one of the founders of Radian Corporation. He retired in 1997 after 29 years with that company. John H. Matthews of Eagle Lake owns and operates a family business, including farming and mineral interests. Rosemary Rust of Wharton is managing partner of the GQ Rust Estate Partnership, where she oversees farming and ranching operations, oil and gas leasing, and commercial property leasing. We'll be visiting more with these new board members in the coming months here on Wavelength.
During the recent legislative session, lawmakers passed a bill which completely restructures the electric power industry. We sat down with General Manager Mark Rose recently and asked him just how this new legislation will affect the LCRA and its wholesale electric customers.
Well, the legislative session is over, and I guess the first thought that comes to mind is our lives will never be the same. The restructuring bill that the governor has signed into law really will bring fundamental change to our industry. We'll see its impact more clearly and more dramatically at the retail level. Said another way, it'll affect our customers more directly than it's likely to affect us, but it truly is going to be different. And it's not going to be just the big utilities changing their names, like Texas Utilities is now TXU, HL&P is now Reliant. It's going to be far more fundamental than just branding a product. It's going to be about stealing customers. It's going to be about convincing Earl and Modine out there that you need to buy your electricity along with your water, along with your gas, your cable service, your telephone from Star Company X. How will we fare? You know, I think the verdict is still out. Nothing will happen until January of '02. And so we have a couple of years for everyone to get ready. Now, in the bill, the co-ops and the cities have the option of saying no. They can simply not decide to enter into competition. They can attempt to keep the walls up. That may be a very successful strategy for some of our smaller customers, but conventional wisdom is that most of our large customers are looking very seriously at going ahead and opting into this new market. Once a utility decides that it's going to enter into the world of restructuring, enter into the world of competition, there's no going back. If you make the decision to open your boundaries up to competition, then that is irreversible. That's the way it's always going to be. Our co-ops, our cities are now very busily looking at their strategic plan, and quite frankly, one of the big things they look at every month is us. And they say, well, look, you're the biggest cost I have, so how can you improve? So the pressure on us will be pretty much the same, providing good, reliable service at the lowest possible cost. We are building a power plant and attempting to pay it off in cash, so that does not give us for the next couple of years the ability to give dramatic rate relief, but by bringing this unit online and it being paid off, our rate for our customers are going to go down because this unit is more efficient and our energy costs will be lower. So we've got a target range, and we'll frankly be given the opportunity to do even better than our target range. Put a bow on it, try to sum it all up. At the retail level, the competition will be fierce. 1 million phone calls at night. At home, add the world of electricity to the world of telephones and credit cards in terms of people who call you at the house. Our customers will compete against each other. It's not just a matter of, oh, suddenly TXU can come in now and try to get customers from PEC. PEC can go try to get customers from Austin. Austin can go try to get customers from PEC. I mean, there are no lines. There are no boundaries. Everybody's customer base is up for grabs. That's really what competition is all about. So the pitfalls for us, I still think there's an acceptance issue. The legislation says that public power can compete out in this new restructured world. Will they really let us? Will they, being the legislature, the powers that be, will they really let public power get out there and compete? And can public power really compete? You'll notice that PEC and Blue Bonnet now have commercials on the radio. You'll see commercials on TV. Our customers will have to spend millions, not hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a year now advertising when they've never really had to advertise before. So it will be dramatic. And we need to be the same reliable foundation that we've been in the past. We keep our costs low, we keep our products reliable, and our megawatts will be sold. And then that will allow us to do the things that we're charged to do, such as community development work, economic development work, and some of the park programs that we've done in the past. I mean, so our world hopefully stays the same as everything else around us changes.
Employees at the Fayette Power Project have again reached a major safety milestone by working 1 million hours without a lost time accident. The 318 employees at FPP hit the 1 million hour mark on May 1st. That's 19 months without a lost time accident.
As plant manager here at Fayette, I couldn't be more proud of my people for anything that they have accomplished than the safety record they've just recently set. It's been a real rewarding experience for all of us to go through, to know that we could work together. We can put safety number one, and we can be competitive in a marketplace that's changing so dynamically right now as we go through deregulation and competitive pressures are placed upon our folks. To be safe, you have to keep your focus, you keep your mind on what you're doing, you help one another to achieve the job that we must do and do it in a safe manner. And I couldn't be more proud of a group of 318 employees here at Fayette than I am today on this achievement.
At approximately 60,000 worker hours per month, FPP could reach the 2 million safe hour mark in December 2000.
It's called Flash Flood Alley, and there are few other places like it in the entire country. When severe weather hits the Texas Hill Country, dry creeks and lazy rivers can quickly turn into raging torrents, flooding homes and covering roadways. In the past, flash floods, severe thunderstorms, and tornadoes could hit residents of Central and South Texas with little or no warning. But now, because of a partnership between the LCRA and the National Weather Service, NOAA weather radio broadcasts of severe weather watches and warnings can be heard throughout the entire Colorado River Basin, from the western hill country to the Gulf of Mexico.
We just could not put our head on our pillows at night thinking that people up and down this basin have no access to information, no access to warning. So we've done our part in that we've put the dollars in place so that there is a system, and you're in our basin now and frankly outside of our river basin. If you will make that investment in that NOAA weather radio, then you can have information that will save your life.
The LCRA spent more than $500,000 over the past 4 years to purchase and install 6 transmitters on its towers in Junction, Kerrville, San Saba, Llano, LaGrange, and Bay City. The new stations complement the original Austin station, which has been broadcasting for several years, and create a total coverage area of 18,000 square miles.
It's a real life and death operation for us. Those of you that know what it's like to live in Flash Flood Alley have a feeling for the good that is coming out of this NOAA LCRA combined joint effort. We're not talking about little frou-frou things here. We're talking about the difference between people being able to take care of themselves and get out of harm's way. And so I really want to say a special grateful thanks from Llano County.
Residents can now receive the NOAA broadcasts with a 7-channel weather radio tuned to the frequency that serves their particular area. These radios are available at local electronics stores. Gary Grice with the National Weather Service presented Mark Rose and the LCRA with the Mark Trail Award for their outstanding contribution to public safety through this expansion of the NOAA weather radio system.
The LCRA is a major partner with the National Weather Service. Preparing these 6 transmitters and donate them to the National Weather Service is a major contribution that we really appreciate, especially the Texas citizens, because this will benefit them, because weather, which is so critical to South Texas, will be broadcast directly to the citizens of the state.
Plans are already underway to add a 7th NOAA station in Gonzales County in the Guadalupe River Basin, but still within LCRA's electric service area.
When the temperature soars in central Texas, the demand for electricity also climbs as everyone tries to keep cool. There are many things we as consumers can do to conserve electricity, such as installing high-efficiency cooling and heating equipment, or adding insulation and weatherizing our homes. Large industrial users can receive a special rate by allowing their electricity supply to be interrupted during times of peak demand. But for companies like Smith Farms, B&N Poultry near Luling, a power interruption during summer heat could be a disaster. These barns house 1.5 million hens, and their survival depends on fresh water and constant ventilation. The solution for B&N Poultry, this 1.1 megawatt backup generator, which starts automatically if there's any interruption of electrical service.
Bruce, what time of night was it that the power kicked out up here?
Midnight.
Midnight?
Midnight, right around 12.
And did the guys call you and say the power went out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bluebonnet always causes it.
Also, during times of peak electrical demand, the generator can be started remotely by the control center at Bluebonnet Electric Cooperative.
As always, it started up like it's supposed to.
This allows B&N to take advantage of a discounted electric rate.
I don't know how it could get much better, honestly. It was a group effort. It was probably one of the best team efforts I've seen in a long time to get together. Everyone took a lot of time to get this done and worked very well together. There were a lot of things. I think it was a lot of firsts, not only for us, but maybe for Bluebonnet. And their folks did a lot of work for us out here and have helped us also in some other operations that we are working on to provide them information about this genset and how it works to help us create another one in the future that we're working on right now.
For the LCRA, this is a creative way to lower its demand peak, thus avoiding having to buy power on the open market.
We feel very comfortable with everything having worked here, and what we're looking for right now is other operators with generator sets on site that we can offer this price to, work with our wholesale customers in offering this pass-through price so that we can help the end-use customer with reliability and a discounted price and help our customers and our ratepayers keep their prices down in summertime.
I think it's an excellent deal for both the customers and the co-op, and obviously LCRA with their rate design has decided that it helps them and wins for them. From our perspective, we keep a happy customer and keep them whole and keep Bluebonnet whole on the financial end, and everybody benefits. And I think that's what we were after when we started out.
On-site generators and time-of-use electric rates are just two more tools that help the LCRA and its wholesale cities and co-ops ensure reliable electric service, even during the hottest summer days.
These 11 students from all around Central Texas are the 1999 LCRA Scholarship winners. Their outstanding academic achievements and community involvement has made them the latest beneficiaries of this LCRA program, which began back in 1988.
This program would not have started 12 years ago without the vision of our general manager, Mark Rose, and the support of the LCRA Board of Directors. We are proud of the success of this program. Over the past 12 years, LCRA has awarded 95 students with LCRA scholarships totaling $996,000 in educational assistance.
Each one of you has the opportunity to decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life. What kind of a person you're going to become, what kind of career you're going to pursue, what contribution that you can make. Make no mistake about it. With this scholarship, with this opportunity, comes high expectations. Because people all throughout Central Texas have contributed to this cause, contributed to you, believe in you. We want you to do only what we know you can do, which is be leaders. Be absolute leaders in your community. Follow your life's course where you want to go. We don't tell you what school to go to. We don't tell you what to study. We just say be strong, be smart, and be a leader, as you have done in the past.
Of the 11 scholarships, 9 are for 4 years worth $12,000 each. The remaining 2 are 2-year scholarships for trade and technical school worth $6,000 each. A paid summer internship at the LCRA is also part of the scholarship award. This year's scholarship winners are Brandy Bratcher from Louise High School in Wharton County, Randall Brazil, who graduated first in his class at Lexington High School in Lee County, Luis Camarillo from Hallettsville High School in Lavaca County, Al Brandon Diaz from Manor High School in Travis County, Vanessa Hilton graduated from Moulton High School in Lavaca County, Christine Keene, first in her class at LBJ High School in Johnson City, Miriam Jackson also graduated first in her class at Waller High School in Waller County, Katie Johnson from San Saba High School, Kristen Pinkston from Bastrop High School, Michael Pratibatuga, also from Bastrop High, and John Gorey from Round Rock High School in Williamson County. John is receiving the scholarship awarded each year to the son or daughter of an LCRA employee. His mother is Debbie Gorey, an office manager with Legal Services.
It's really nice. John's the middle child and I'm a single mom, and so he'll be able to go to school and hopefully not take out very many loans to get through school. My oldest daughter's in school right now, and she's had to take out quite a few loans. So John, it's a real blessing for all of us, not only for myself, but for John.
It's a major boost to the way I'm going to pay for college, and I understand there's high expectations that come with it, but I can meet them.
Oh, this scholarship is great because I'm going to get an opportunity to attend an excellent university, and I'm going to study elementary education, which I've wanted to do since I was in kindergarten pretty much. And so this scholarship is going to allow me to do that and allow me to just study as many things as I want to do when I'm at Rice. So I'm really excited.
Congratulations to all the scholarship winners and their families.
In the past, during severe weather events when floodgates had to be opened here at Tom Miller Dam, operators had only 2 hoists to operate 9 gates. That meant opening one gate, then moving the hoist to the next gate, hooking on, opening it, and then moving again. A process that took about 20 to 30 minutes per gate.
Keep swinging left a little bit.
Now 7 new floodgate hoists are being lifted into position on top of Tom Miller Dam, giving crews the ability to operate all 9 gates simultaneously if necessary.
This process that we're going through today is similar to what we went through up at Wirtz. Again, we're placing 7 new floodgate hoists up here. The difference on this dam as opposed to Wirtz is we've got restrictions on the crane because of the distance that it's having to lift, and so these hoists are being placed in 2 different sections, and then once we get them down on the rail down here, we'll tie them together so they'll be operational.
This is just one phase of an overall plan to upgrade operations at all 6 LCRA Highland Lakes dams. The next step at Tom Miller Dam will be to overhaul the 2 original gate hoists and outfit them with new motors. Then the metal superstructure and the floodgates will be given a new paint job.
When you look at the future workforces for LCRA that come in here, it's going to help them operate everything better than we've been able to operate it. There'll be some learning curves still. Every flood we get is a little different. You know, they're not cookie cutter. They're not exactly the same. This will give us a lot of flexibility. This will give us faster reaction time should we need it. It will allow us to operate these gates partially open, which increases the public safety, for that matter, from someone that's upstream, reduces the erosion downstream because we're spreading the water out until it pools up and becomes a cushion in a tail race. So it's great. It's good to be a part of all these types of projects. It really is. It's something that you feel fortunate, you know, you're lucky to get a chance to do some of this work.
Meanwhile, the LCRA Dam Modernization Project, which is designed to improve the structural stability of the dams, continues at Wirtz Dam near Marble Falls. This process uses steel cables to anchor the gravity section of the dam to the bedrock deep below the surface. This will help these structures remain in place even during the worst possible flood event. Plans for the structural improvements here at Tom Miller Dam are now in the design phase.
In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, ending all slavery in the United States. But it wasn't until June 19, 1865, nearly 2 years later, that word finally reached Texas, a day that ultimately became known as Juneteenth. In 1980, Juneteenth became an official state holiday in Texas, and this year the LCRA held its first annual celebration of Juneteenth at the General Office Complex in Austin.
Because we recognize the diversity that we have here. We recognize how rich it is, and we want to make sure that we share that with all of our employees. This is just a one in a series of events that we've been doing to get, so we can become familiar with each other, our backgrounds, the different struggles, places, where did we come from? And that just makes it better for us to work together as a team when we have a good understanding and can recognize who we are.
Ring with the harmonies of liberty.
Today, Juneteenth celebrates African American freedom while encouraging self-development and respect for all cultures. The holiday is gaining popularity nationally as communities in other states organize their own Juneteenth celebrations. Find out more about Juneteenth on the World Wide Web at www.juneteenth.com.
Our top story, putting a price on this water. Good evening, everyone. I'm Walt Makaborski. Judy Maggio has the night off. A multi-million-dollar deal was announced today, making sure you'll have enough water, even in the worst drought, but you're going to have to pay more for it. KV24's Eddie Lavandera is live at Tom Miller Dam tonight. Eddie, big question, how much more are we going to have to pay for it?
Well, Walt, over the next 6 years, water rates will go up about 10%. That breaks down to about $28 a year per home. City leaders say it's a worthy investment, though, that will help Central Texans pull through the toughest droughts. The plan will go into effect, will be voted on in August, and probably will go into effect next year in the year 2000.
In Texas, cotton has always been king, but water is threatening to take over the throne.
We don't have water, we don't have anything in Texas.
Bob Avant is a corn and wheat farmer. Every day he sees the strain growth is putting on the Central Texas water supply. The pond on his land is already half empty this year.
There's just no way of shutting the gate and keeping people from coming in. It appears this area is going to continue to grow, and the only way this area can grow is to have adequate water resources.
More than 500,000 people will be using this water over the next 20 years. This forced Austin city leaders to re-examine its water supply.
Facing the turn of a century.
To ensure sufficient water for everyone, the city cut a new deal with the Lower Colorado River Authority. A $100 million contract will serve 1.6 million people through the year 2050. The current contract handles fewer people through 2023.
When you look at where this area is going in terms of growth, it is important that we start today planning for how we're going to provide water in the future.
What Austin did is guarantee that the water wasn't sitting around for somebody outside of the basin to come in and say, well, heck, if you're not going to use it in the basin, let me use it.
Bob Avant's corn crop is doing well this year, but he knows the value of water. He hopes this new water deal will ease the pain when droughts set in.
Drought is something we have to contend with, and it's a tough situation.
Now, the Lower Colorado River Authority made sure to let the city know today that it was getting a good deal. They were pointed out that there are many other cities around the state that are willing to pay a lot more money for access to this water. Walt?
Okay, Eddie, and again, this is not a done deal. The water plan still has to be approved by the Austin City Council. That will happen sometime in August.
Well, that's it for this edition of Wavelength. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.